welcome to Telling Yarns, vlogcast number 2. I am Beth and I'm the dyer and founder behind Telling Yarns. I'm the person that you will deal with if you are following me on Instagram, if you are buying anything, if you're visiting the shop, all of that, it's me that you're dealing with. I'm at, the website is tellingyarns.com. If you want show notes for this, they're below and they're also on the website as well. It is January the 4th, my dad's birthday today. The kids are due to go back to school tomorrow. They are primary school age. So we've got twins who are 7 and our eldest is 10. They're due to go back tomorrow. We live in the Bedford Borough council area. And Bedford Borough themselves, as the council, have said they don't want the schools to reopen. But obviously the government have said they do want the schools to reopen, the primary schools. So we have no idea what's going on. The teachers have all gone in for teacher training today. So I guess we find out by the end of the day. My mum works at a different school, locally, a different primary school. And she has gone in for teacher training day today, so she will find out. James and I were discussing it this morning. We really feel, so my brother Ben is a firefighter in the area. He started helping out the paramedics when things kicked off in probably around April time. He started helping them, I think March maybe, and he was doing just extra shifts filling in instead of doing the fire service stuff. And then when he went back to being a firefighter, he had enjoyed driving for the paramedics. He isn't actually a paramedic, I think my understanding is that he's driving the ambulance for the paramedics. And so he now does both. He does that as an employed role, driving with them, but he also does his firefighting as well. So my understanding from what he's said is that things are not good locally. I also know another paramedic from the school and he has suggested the same. So I think we're really at a point, James and I feel, whilst we're not hugely nervous about the kids getting COVID and being at school and what have you, although you never know who might react badly to it, we feel bad for the teachers who have to go in, you know, particularly if there are any who are a bit older or who have underlying health issues. We feel, I saw Matt Hancock on Sky News this morning and he said, oh, you know, statistically there are no more teachers are getting it than average everyday adults. I might be wrong, I don't have the statistics, but I think that must be completely incorrect because I know a number of people have had COVID within the area and all of them have got it through working at schools. So that's just my personal experience. I wouldn't like to judge the government, but that sounds like bull. But anyway, yeah, so I think we're hoping the school doesn't reopen because we don't think it's fair to the teachers to have to go in. We do know the kids are spreading it. I hate the thought that somebody will get it and get really sick as a result of all the kids going back to school. I think we just need to shut down again for a bit. But anyway, that's enough on COVID because it's all been COVID. I am still knitting on my Fox Thoughts cardigan that I showed you before, but I've had a complete nightmare. I've realised that every time, oh, James and Felix and Milo have just got back from the supermarket. I've realised that every time I have done an increase, I have increased incorrectly. So I have been picking up like pick up the loop from, let me think how I've been doing this. I'll have to actually do it to see what I've been doing. So I've been picking up the loop that hangs between the two from, oh hold on, that's not the loop. There, I've been picking that up from front to back like that. Oh, that was a tied in thread. Then knitting it from the front, and what that has done is it's put a small hole every single time I've increased. So you can see them all down there, all down there. There's some symmetry here going on. So what I should have been doing was picking them up from back to front and knitting into the back, and then that wouldn't have happened. And I have done all of this. So I don't know, Milo says just leave it. I can't bear the thought of just leaving it, so I either need to, I guess, maybe put some kind of stitch in to hold it together from the back, or I need to pull it back and do the stitch the correct way. But that's like, I'll just flash the chart really quickly so that I'm not causing any copyright issues, but just look at the increases. So that's a lot of increases. So yeah, I'm not sure. I would very much like your advice on that one. Please add much guidance below. So yeah, I've kind of stopped, despite the fact I was really happy with that. And I have cast on a baby knit, which is going to be a gift knit. So apologies if that's just changed slightly. I'm filming this a little bit later. So my baby knit is for my friend from the day office, and she is having a baby girl in February, and I wanted something that I could use a variegated or speckled yarn with, probably more of a tonal solid, to get a really classy and simple look. She's very classy. So I chose a pattern by Lane Knit, which is Lane Home Samso. I checked my pronunciation, I think I'm about there on that. She is a Danish designer, and it's Lil Dahlia, and I'm going to do the actual cardigan that you see on the front there. The pattern is amazing. It comes with all these different options. So you've got the cardigan here, which I'm doing, but you also have all these other options, which I just think is fantastic. But obviously it's the same motif on all of them, so but it's brilliant that you buy one pattern for, I think it was only slightly more expensive than other patterns I've bought on Ravelry or elsewhere. I did and ah about doing the dress, but I decided that if it were me knitting for when I had babies, that actually I thought probably the cardigan is the one I would use the most. All the options, yeah. So I have cast it on with Pygmy Puff, which is one of my favourite tonal solids at the moment that we stock. I've done it on the Fancy Pants 4-ply, which you'll notice the theme here if you're checking. This is my favourite base at the moment. It's got 10% cashmere as well as the nylon for strength and the superwash merino. So it's just really soft, silky. It's a lot more sort of bouncy, I think, personally, than the 100% merinos. Got more squidge, which is why I'm squidging it now. So I've cast on with this. Here it is caked up. And here it is. I probably should have done this when I wasn't mid-row. So here it is. It's only little because it's I'm doing the newborn one. Well, 3 months, not newborn, 3 months. But my friend Fia is very petite, so I imagine baby will be petite but tall because her husband is very, very tall. So yeah, it's all soft lilacs, minks. It's overall a mink colourway is how I describe it, which is a colour I really love. It's a shade of purple that I sort of gravitate towards, I think is a fair comment. But it has got flashes of lilac, it's got speckles of yellow and a much darker purple and a bright pink. Yeah, and I love how that's coming together, because from this sort of distance you've got just a soft mink cardigan, and then when you look closer up it's all interesting. So yeah, and it's a fun knit. I'm being really careful to make sure it's absolutely perfect, and that I look up every stitch and everything as I go along, just to make sure I don't have the same thing happen as happened on my Fox Sorts cardigan, because I want it to be perfect, because I just think with such a simple design it needs to be really perfectly executed so that it looks really sharp and classic, I think is what I'm going for, like a modern classic look. I'm storing that in my bag from Botanical Yarn, which is usually my sock bag, but I thought this was a good baby knit bag as well. So I will alternate skeins, which is why I've got this other one here, but I thought it was easier to make sure that I get all the stitch definition correct here on you know, the pattern section on the yoke. I thought it was easier if I just do that all in one skein, because these were dyed in the same pot and they are very similar. Although I shouldn't say that, because I'm doing a risk there that you'll do the same and it'll go wrong. What I tend to do is I would do like the patterned yoke or the colour work or whatever in one of the main colour, base colour, and then I will alternate as soon as I get to, I know this isn't the one I'm making, but you know what I mean, as soon as I hit here I'll start alternating skeins. So yeah, that's what I'm working on. We heard back from the school and we are pleased that they have decided not to open this week, but they are reviewing it at the end of the week. So that seems really sensible, I think. So just to give you a little update on that. That means I will be homeschooling. So the vlog side of this vlogcast will be homeschool based, I imagine, rather than quite the dye shop week that I was planning to have. I had an interesting thing happen for the first time ever this, well, I was going to say this week, over the last couple of weeks. I ordered yarn on the Tuesday, was it the Tuesday? Yeah, the Tuesday, no, the Monday before Christmas. Christmas was on the Friday. They send it out and it comes to you the next day from my yarn suppliers. You pay to have it couriered and everything, so that, because it's very expensive undyed yarn, so the minimum order is minimum sort of 300 quid every time you do an order. So I made the order. I said, oh, I've changed address, here's my address. I didn't pay through PayPal like I normally do. I paid a bank transfer because that's how they prefer us to pay now, because of PayPal charges and things for businesses. So I did that. So I knew that my PayPal address didn't matter anyway. I've updated it anyway, but you know what I mean. So I sent my address through to them, and unfortunately I've had no other issues with them, so this isn't remotely a grumble on my part about them. They've been brilliant. Unfortunately it went to my old address and the courier continued to try and deliver it there, despite the fact nobody lives there currently. And so I contacted them on Christmas, the day before Christmas Eve, said I've not received it. They tried to get it sorted out, couldn't get it sorted out. Then between Christmas and New Year, it's had to go back up to where my yarn supplier is based. And today it's finally been sent back out to me, to this address, to the farm. So tomorrow, the yarn, which I have promised a number of people I would dye, and was hoping to beat all of the deadlines I had given them, which were very reasonable deadlines, but I was hoping to smash those and get it all done really early. I now will be lucky if I make the deadline. So I've told those people, there's a few of you, I've already, if you're watching and you're one of those, I hope I've already mentioned it. I mentioned it on Instagram. A couple of people I'd agreed later deadlines, so that will be fine. But a couple of people I was expecting to be dispatching it now. And obviously I've still got to dye it, dry it, and it was orders where I'm doing like 5 different colourways, and I needed to dye, it's a base that I didn't have in stock because the supplier had run out of it. So I need to dye like sort of, I've got, I think I worked it out, I was going through, sorting out a little dye log. I've got all of those different colourways to dye, and obviously every time you do a batch you want to do multiples of it so that you're getting a load. So yeah, I've got a lot of dyeing to do. And now we're homeschooling as well, so that will be interesting, although James usually takes the brunt of the homeschooling. and I just come in at the point where it gets too frustrating. So yes, that's the week ahead. So now you know what to expect from the vlog side of this vlogcast. So I have watched a video on fixing increases, and then I have, because I was thinking that probably what I'd do is like drop the stitch above where I made the increase, pull it back, try and fix the increase, and then pick back up with a crochet hook. So I had a go at doing that. Perhaps that's what you were already typing in the comments below. And I feel like it has worked quite well here. Bearing in mind there's about 1 billion of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 sets of increases. I then moved along to the next one. How many have I done? 1, 2, that one was quite successful. 3, less successful. So I don't know. I'm not one of those people that can just leave it because I can see the holes and it's bugging me. But at the same time, in trying to fix it, I feel like I'm making it worse. Look, there's a big hole there, and you can see that I've picked up the stitch and looped it. So I have no idea what I'm doing now. So, I don't know, help me. Help me! Yeah, we shall see. After saying to you guys that the school was shut, and that was good news that the school was shut, Boris came on and did his update. Locked everything down till the February half term, and it's one of those weird things. You knew it was coming, or you could have guessed it was probably coming, and it seemed sensible, but it didn't stop the hollow, dull feeling. So I went to bed with that feeling Monday night, which I should think most of the nation did, and woke up with it Tuesday morning, which again I guess most people did. Okay, now had a really nice knit and natter with some friends off Instagram. Georgie from the Fibre Fox did a little knit and natter on Zoom just for anybody to join, so that was nice, and that perked me up a bit because I think, yeah. Anyway, so I've been trying to fix that. We've been doing the homeschooling, which all kicked off yesterday, and it's going fine so far. James just taken the boys to the base that they're building in what they're calling the Wilder Woods down by the kind of reservoir pond thing just across the way, and it has a brook that runs through it. I filmed some of it in my first VlogCast. So they are busy. I think they took a little hacksaw or something. They were going to chop something. Anyway, they're happy, and that's what matters. So yeah, I'm trying to work out what the heck to do with this. I definitely am not unpicking it before anybody suggests that. That's not happening. Either I'm going to stitch up the holes from the inside, or I'm going to do this. I think what I'll do is do the drop down, try and fix them. Any ones that remain, I'll stitch up, unless one of you has an amazing idea. I'm relying on you. So yeah, we're going to take down the Christmas decorations this evening. We got we ordered, James and I ordered for our birthday, for Christmas last year from my grandparents. We bought each other the Game of Thrones version of Risk, and I'd never played Risk before. James is a super geek, and as a young person was like always at the comic book shop, ended up working at the comic book shop, played Risk and all those kind of things. I am a super geek, but obviously didn't know the right geeky people and didn't get the chance to play any of these cool things or go to a comic book shop, which I would have loved. So we got Game of Thrones Risk, and we were like, oh, that'd be amazing, we can play it together, it'd be so good, such nice bonding in the evenings, to have something nice to play together. We never did anything with it. We got it out of the box during previous lockdown, first lockdown, lockdown 1 as we shall now call it, and Oscar invented a game which we played, which involved him winning a lot. We got it out. I was like, right, we've had it for a year, we're going to get it out on New Year's Eve, I think it was, or New Year's Day, and we played it. Like, I thought, oh, it's really complicated. It's not complicated at all. As soon as you get playing, it isn't remotely difficult. We've got the skirmish version, so it's like a basic, proper Risk game. Played that, absolutely loved it. Played with Oscar, who's 10, and then also played with Felix and Milo, who are 7. I'm not saying they were strategic in any way, but they played and they enjoyed it, and they didn't grumble too much about being defeated at various times by each other and us. So I thoroughly recommend that. We've ended up buying the deluxe version because when we looked originally last year, it was like £75 for the deluxe and then like £30 for the skirmish, and we'd never played it, like that version. I'd never played it at all before, so I didn't know if I'd like it. So we said, right, we'll get the skirmish one, see how it goes, and then we can always do something else, you know, get an add-on or something. So we loved it, decided we'll get the deluxe version. There's a lot more like manoeuvres and strategic stuff, I think, based on some reviews we watched. So we're going to play that later. That sounds very exciting. Well, for us geeky people. So yes, and I will show you my little dahlia. Let me go get it. Hold on 1 second. My undyed yarn finally arrived, so I have all that dyeing to get on with now. So yeah, I put a progress keeper here where I was up to before. So there, just there I was up to when I showed you before. So I've done all of that, pretty good work. A load of it was done on the knit and natter yesterday. Some of it done on Dad's birthday tea, and the rest in the evenings. Sitting around, we're rewatching Game of Thrones, James and I. 2 episodes into season 1. So yeah, you can see the colourway really showing off there. I love this pattern. Like, it's not difficult by any means at all. So effective. You just have to actually concentrate while you're doing it. So yeah, I really am pleased with that. So I've just done the stitch markers, if you can see them. I've got my thumb on one there, for the back, the sleeves and the fronts. And then I've done 1 set of increases. I've got 1 more set of increases to do, and then I put the sleeves onto you know, a holder or whatever, and then I knit the fronts and the back as one thing, not in the round obviously because it's cardigan, not steeped, so you just knit straight back and forth. Oh, cute. So yeah, yeah, so I'm pleased with that. Nice easy knit, recommend it, interesting so far, not so big that I'm going to get bored on the coming stocking stitch. Really shows off the colourway beautifully. Really, 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 really love that. This is the Pygmy Puff colourway. I'm using Fancy Pants, which is a Fancy Pants 4-ply, which is a fingering weight, off the top of my head, 75% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 5% nylon. So a really great yarn because it is quite durable in terms of like being the superwash merino. So I'm not saying I would throw it through the washing machine, but you're not going to mess it up too easily. It's really soft and decadent because of the cashmere, but then it's got the strength from that 5% nylon. So yes, that's what I'm doing. Well, I hope you've had fun with me on vlogcast number 2. I will be filming a load of dye pot work and all of that over the next vlogcast, so if you're interested in that, you'll see bits and pieces. I've also got a really great idea for, well, I say it like it's my great idea. I've been following Lauren, somebody, I can't remember her surname, I'll look it up for the next episode, who does these amazing art pieces where she gets a beautiful, like I think, is it like driftwood? I don't know. Anyway, she has a bit of, let's say, wood, a long branch, and then she has all this yarn hanging down from it. And when I made the, I just happen to have it right here in front of me, when I made the tassels for my What the Fade, there were bits in there which I just thought were really, really beautiful. And I thought, what a shame that you don't ever get to see the yarn like hanging down like that. And then I'd been following this artist, Lauren, who does these pieces, and thinking how beautiful they were, and yet quite simple. And then I saw in the latest Pom Pom issue, where I got the Fox Salts cardigan from, that they've got a whole like how to make it DIY version with like a branch, like you find a branch and then you hang them all, and they've got them dyed. So what I thought I'm going to do is use some of my leftover merino singles from knitting things like What the Fade, and do the colours from my What the Fade, these colours, hanging down, and then dye the bottom up black to grey, and then undyed with the original colourways at the top, to go in our dining room. So I'll show you that in my next vlogcast, and I'll show you where I'm going to put it and everything once the Christmas tree's down. So yeah, I will see you soon. Keep safe, and keep busy, and also if you want to just sit and do nothing, that's okay, be cool with it. And I will do my best to try and keep you entertained either on Instagram or on here. Okay, bye.